myself and I. Be 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 myself and I have found, yes I have. I've got questions, yes I have. Trying to make sense of my life, looking through the lenses of my past. I have learned, yes I have. Now I have answers, yes I have. Looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm liking what I see, but it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey to get here. Looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm loving what I see, but it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey to get here. To the place of recognition of me, myself and I. Be 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 myself and I. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm Lizzie Morris, your host for Morning Inspirations, and I'm here today to talk to you about the children. Yes, today I want us to think about how we can be inspired to inspire our children so that in tomorrow, there is an amazing tomorrow that allows them to do more and be more than we have ever been or experienced. But how do we do that? So, in great morning fashion of morning inspirations, I want to give you a little time to think that through and to be grateful for the fact that there is a hope for tomorrow, that there is a hope for tomorrow in our children. There's a hope for tomorrow that lives inside of them. And if we allow ourselves to promote that hope, if we allow ourselves to kind of sit with the concept of what is our responsibility to tomorrow, not just the responsibility that we have in our today, but what is the responsibility of tomorrow? What do we need to do to make sure that tomorrow is so much better for those who are coming behind us? And how can we help them to ensure it's going to be better for those coming behind them? What are the things need to know at a bare minimum to get them going, at a bare minimum to keep them focused on this? What do you think those things are? I'm looking for comments, etc. Just to kind of hear what you think as some of those things that we need to put in play and to be referencing so that we as adults and professionals today see it into the tomorrow. What are those things, do you think? But of course, one of the things that allow great thoughts to flow and allows you to kind of be in that moment to grasp what's there for you is allowing yourself a pause. So let's take our pause of gratitude for being here, gratitude for thinking about tomorrow, being grateful for the fact that we look to our children and that we are pleased that we have them and they are still in a better place than many of us were when we started out. Let's just be grateful for that. So today, I choose to be thankful for the children. And let me explain to you kind of why. This affirmation is the affirmation I wrote for today when I thought about the children. And I thought this kind of it encompasses a lot of what I was thinking, I was feeling, and I myself was being inspired by. Today, I am grateful that tomorrow is seeded in every young child. Yes, I am grateful it is entrusted in the care of their hands. Yes, I am grateful it is entrusted in the skip of their step and in the echo of them having fun. Yesterday, I'm grateful for children everywhere, that their minds can foster our past while canvassing their future from the colors on our palette. Yes, the colors are hope, the colors are joy, the colors of belonging, the colors are forgiveness, the colors are kindness, the colors are gratitude, the colors are creativity served on the tray of our beautiful Black history. Yes, I choose to believe my tomorrows are safe in the brush of their dreams and the pen of their imagination. Yes, I am grateful for the Black children of tomorrow. I say that again. Today, I am grateful that tomorrow is seated in every young child. Yes, I am grateful it is entrusted in the care of their hands. And yes, I am grateful it is entrusted in the skip of their step and in the echo of them having fun. Yesterday, I am grateful for children everywhere, that their minds can foster our past while canvassing their future from the colors on our palette. Yes, the colors are hope. Yes, the colors are joy. Yes, the colors are belonging. And yes, the colors are forgiveness. Yes, the colors are kindness. Yes, the colors are gratitude. Yes, the colors are creativity served on the tray of our beautiful Black history. Yes, I choose to believe my tomorrows are safe in the brush of their dreams and in the pen of their imagination. Yes, I am grateful for the Black children of tomorrow. Now, I think it's really important to understand that where we begin is not the ending. As when we think of those in our past, our ancestors, their beginning was not the ending. It was just a seed on this thing we call the journey called life. And it has many hues to it because there's many experiences and there's many collisions that happen on the path. Some we will label good, some we will label bad, but nonetheless, these collisions create this canvas of experiences and colors that we reference back to in museums, in art, in history. So I thought to myself, if we can become conscious that that's what's happening all the time in every genre that we're in every logistic place we may be living our life, that that is actually what's happening. There's seeds and experiences that are being built and they're being made that are going to influence tomorrow. What can we do when looking at where we are in the canvas right now in this very moment? What would we have done if we were those who are drafting the canvas for today? What would we have done differently? What would we want to see in the museums today to being referred to as the past? See, if you start to think from that perspective, it puts a certain sense of responsibility. Sometimes it can put a sense of overwhelm. But if you stand back and kind of pause in that moment, you can think, what is it that we could be collaborating in creation today to frame that picture, to allow it to tell the story we would love to be hearing today? What are the actions? What are the thoughts we have to inspire? What is it that we've got to cultivate to make that possible? It's a question. Is there an answer? I believe there are many answers because there's many people and many experiences. But if everybody's thinking those same thoughts and allowing themselves to be open, to be inspired by that, hmm, what's possible? What's truly possible for tomorrow? When we look at the innocence of children and we play with this all the time when we're talking about being agile. Kids don't have things built in them. They don't have fears built in them. Fear is taught. They don't have prejudice built in them. That is taught behavior. So when it comes to creativity, they don't know they can't do impossible because impossible doesn't exist as a reference point for their mind. So imagine now taking all of those away and not allowing them to be part of their development. Instead, nurturing their development to just full creativity, full possibilities. How many children inventors would we have if we took away the constructs that we have placed that we call the process of growth and we call the process of professionalism and the process of adulthood? What would happen if we took some of those things away? How rich could be that canvas that these young children could create if there were no barriers, if there were no construct that looked like race? Could you imagine what that could be? Now, I pulled, because it's Black History Month, obviously, from some of those who are considered the great influencers and looked at, well, what do they have to say, or what did they say and leave behind that we could bring to children today? So here's something that Dr. King said. People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other. So there hasn't been this conversation. There's not a fostering of conversation. So if we were to foster conversations and keep conversations going and not stopping conversations, then what could possibly be possible? Now, that's an interesting thought, right? What is possible if you keep fostering conversation and allowing conversations to keep going? Like, don't stop them. Let the conversation continue. As you're all aware, today is the Thursday where myself and great colleague Trisha get together and we do our Let's Continue the Conversation at 1:00 Central. So I am inviting you, please do join us here on LinkedIn. We will be live at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, and we will be continuing the conversation because we believe that the conversation makes the difference. If we can continue to do it, we can learn how to communicate. And that's exactly what Martin Luther King was saying. It's got to be a conversation. A conversation is a back and forward that we do with each other. And by doing the back and forward, we're able to come to conclusions. We're able to learn. We're able to clarify. We're able to get on the same page with each other. We're able to begin to meld in what we call humanity. Now, in the conversation that we can have, Malcolm X says, history isn't hatred. A lot of times the reason people don't want to communicate about the past is because when they're communicating about the past, they're assuming the emotions people are going to have. And in many times when we talk about the past, it's packaged and it's colored in certain boxes because it's wanting certain results from the communication. But what if we just give history as facts, just the facts as they are? And then while teaching the facts, inspire for a future that's different. Inspire power for that future. What I thought was interesting was also this particular quote from Malcolm X. As long as you are convinced you have never done anything, you can never do anything. When we look in our communities, many of our Black communities, we see that there is no hope in children to be anything. There's not an aspiration. It's not commonplace that there's an aspiration for greatness because they're not aware that they have been great, that there's greatness in their DNA, that they've been inventors, that everything they see around them, they've had something to do with it. Somebody who looked like them had something to do with that. The fact that there's electrical switches, the fact that there are trains and that oil moves, the phrase, the real McCoy, is because of somebody who looked like them. But if they don't know that, if they don't know they've never done anything great, then they don't believe they ever can. So in telling the story of history, history isn't hatred. History is. When we look at this quote by Martin Luther King, intelligence plus character, that is the goal of education. Well, character is the molding of that personality. My personality molds from my many experiences. My intelligence comes from my ability to absorb information and allow that information to become part of my mental Rolodex and allow it to influence me and use it to recall, to inspire me to do more, and to use it as a reflection of evidence that was, inspiring me to create new evidence that is. These are things I can do when I get the ability to have knowledge given to me. So it's important that one of the things we do is consistently make sure we're making education available to everybody. We're making education necessary, not an option. Because without education, how do we become influenced? How do we know things are possible? How do we begin to reach? If I don't know how do I? It's important for us to bring about the how to. It's important for us to paint the frame of possibilities versus painting frames of impossibilities and obstacles. Those aren't what we should frame things with, not with the obstacles, not with the struggles, but with the outcomes, with the dreams, with the imaginations, with the possibilities. Years and years and years ago, before there was per se the construct of race, there was no electricity, there was no flame. But then there came the flame, the ability to create fire. Then we have fire, and then fire was able to be carried around and, created at will. And then we've grown, we've grown, we've grown, we continue to grow, we continue to evolve. We continue to be. This is this whole thing called humanity, this whole human experience. And the more and more we get better at understanding that it is growth, it is journey. It is not just here. It is tomorrow. It is the rest of your life. It is the rest of humanity's life. We're on this journey called life. And on this journey, we have to remember the humanity that we have is truly beautiful, regardless of how it's packaged, regardless of how it's framed. As long as it is human, it is beautiful. As long as it is human, it is ours. It is part of us. It's part of the collective. We have to protect it. We have to enable it. We have to nurture it. Because my humanity is beautiful, your humanity is beautiful, and our collective humanity is beautiful. So we've got to allow that to be something that we teach our children from a very, very, very young age so that they become keepers of humanity. They become ones who are holding on to it and seeing it dear also. But they can't do that if that's not the message we're sending. Mama Maya said something fabulous about the children. And she put it not just on society to do something about it, but she went and she put it on all of us to do something about it. And she went as far as saying that when it comes to children, we have got to, as parents, their caretakers, those who are entrusted with them on a day-to-day basis. It's time for parents to teach young people early on that in diversity there is beauty and there is strength. That's the key word. Diversity brings beauty and it brings strength. It allows many chords to come together and find how their fibers will wrap to make things beautiful. Diversity is a necessity. It's not an option. If we're talking about doing this thing called life and we're talking about having this human experience, diversity should become our norm. So much a norm that if we think about the Kano model for a minute, it's a basic people don't even talk about. It's like, duh, of course. We don't talk about the need for us to breathe. We don't talk about the need for us to drink water. Like everybody should have water. That's a basic. We're not necessarily good on the fact that we should be drinking eight glasses a day of water, right? But everybody's got the understanding water is necessary. Breathing is just what we have to do to survive. I dare to say to you that as a human race, for us to survive, diversity is necessary. That strength, that necessity for us to come together as a human family is so very, very, very important. Our struggle, though, is that sometimes we just don't get that. And this upcoming weekend, I'm going to be talking, well, it's actually next weekend, really, isn't it? But I kind of think I'm almost in the weekend here. Agile for Humanity, I will be speaking here. And one of the things I'm going to be talking about in my keynote is the fragility of humanity. And when we understand our fragility, we'll understand why being agile is so important and the influences we can take from that to bring about true humanity, to foster humanity in each of us. So please check that out. Make sure you sign up for that event on Friday, February 19th. And today I'm actually going to be this evening speaking with Chris Sims. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be kind of cool. And I'm going to be talking about framing. I'm going to be talking about framing value this evening. So please go to my LinkedIn. You let me put up all that information. You can find me here on Your Agile Lady, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook. And I'll be posting about that. So please do follow, go check out my social media pages so you can keep up with what I'm doing and where I will be, because I want to keep inspiring you even after the show. I decided yesterday I am going to keep this because it's become like a Lizzie mantra, a personal one for me, and share it with you every day, every time I come on, to bring you back to it so that you understand, well, Lizzie, why do you do this? What's the point behind morning inspirations? I have realized that my reason for being, everybody has one. Some of us don't know what our reason for being is at this point in time. I have come to discover and embrace mine. So my reason for being is to help change be in everybody's life, to help them move and transition through change without the fear factor that tends to come packaged with change, to understand change is about evolution and it can be intentional and it makes amazing things happen in your life. So today I choose as an act of my will to be grateful and move forward. It's what I do. And yes, I march forward to do my part for true equality, because you see, equality is part of change. As we're changing and evolving, we're understanding that each of us change and evolve. It's part of the human journey. And in understanding that, that breeds true collaboration. And true collaboration happens because of true connection. So yes, I will be a seed for continuous change. And yes, I will be a voice for inclusion. And yes, I will be a voice for justice. Because justice means we all are treated as humans each and every day in each and every way. And yes, I will be change. See, I can't ask others or inspire others to change if I myself don't consistently stay on the journey of change for myself and keep evolving and inspecting and adapting, because that's what it's about. There's new discoveries that come with every experience and every moment of this thing called life. And when it comes, as I say, we have to allow ourselves a pause. See, if I don't allow myself just that moment to just kind of step away from the situation and just kind of pause, I never have the opportunity or gift to be able to respond. Instead, I stay trapped in reactions. And because I don't want to stay trapped in reactions, I offer myself the gift of pause every day. I want to inspire you to offer yourself the gift of pause, because in the gift of pause, you suddenly realize, yes, I can deal with this. Yes, I can be more than this moment. And then gratitude comes in and it lifts underneath you. So you're able now in the pause to be grateful for the pause and to be grateful for the thing that triggered the pause. Because now it's given you an option for another level of growth. It's revealed to you your humanity, because sometimes we forget we're human, but it's revealed to you, hey, there's humanity that I have here. And you can be grateful for that because with humanity comes growth. And opportunity for growth happens every day. An opportunity for growth happens every single day, whether we choose to want it or not. And whether or not we choose to embrace that growth, it does happen every day. The opportunity is always there. But today, as you're going out to do your everyday, I would like you to take a moment to care, to think about doing something to enable children to be inspired. To think about the children in your personal circles, the children that are around you that come into play, nieces, nephews, colleagues, kids that you may see on Zoom calls. What is it that you can offer up to help them build a better future than we've done so far? To improve and innovate on what it is we've done. What can we do to inspire them? I think there's so much. Let me leave you with this. Today, I am grateful that tomorrow is seeded in every young child. And yes, I am grateful it is entrusted in the care of their hands. Yes, I am grateful it is entrusted in the skip of their step and the echo of them having fun. Yes, today I'm grateful for children everywhere, that their minds can foster our past while canvassing their future from the colors on our palette. And yes, the colors are hope, the colors are joy, the colors are belonging, the colors are forgiveness. The colors are kindness. The colors are gratitude and creativity served on the tray of our beautiful Black history. Yes, I choose to believe my tomorrows are safe in the brush of their dreams and the pen of their imagination. Yes, I am grateful for the Black children of tomorrow. I hope you will join me with that gratitude and you will aim to allow your life to influence and empower Black children with Black history of them learning about themselves. So knowing that they can do more. And that just enriches what we call this fabulous humanity canvas that has many hues, many colors, many canvases, and many experiences. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And I hope you were inspired today to think about the children and you were inspired to frame your day a different way. Because you can, because living this human experience, that may not be by choice, but how you do it is always on you. Hope to see you later at our Let's Continue the Conversations at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. Take care for now and have a wonderful day. Keep allowing yourself to be inspired so you can inspire others. Bye for now.